Hello aspirants, welcome to this session. I've just solved the JEE Main Test 93 and here's the physics analysis. So as per me, two questions were tough. This requires lots of integration and this is, I don't agree, the question I don't think is very right, so you can find it many books, but I don't agree with it. I have solved it, answer doesn't match with the given one. And here the second question also answer doesn't matches, and I can make it out only what I can see 3, 6 and 9 questions were easy, 2 were tough and rest 14 were medium. But here the paper, there are some questions which might trouble you and which might derail you, like the last one, 25th, you can waste too much time in it. So in this paper, the student who is smart enough, who can just escape from these 2-3 ambiguous or the time taking questions, he can sail through very fine. Otherwise the people can waste a lot of time even in question number 6. So if you don't waste time, if you stick to your basics, you know what you know and you know what you don't know, you will score good. Otherwise you will mess up in this paper. So going by my logic, 9 and 7, that is half of medium, and 9 easy, 9 and 7, that is 16 questions you do. So 16 means again 60 marks should be scorable, and for very good students 80 must be scorable easily in this particular paper. First question, block having 12 gram of an element is placed in a room. The element is a radioactive element with a half-life of 15 years. After how many years will there be just 1.5 gram of the element? So you can directly make it out. 12 to 1.5 gram, that means it becomes 1 by 8. 1 by 8 simply means that is 3t half. 3t half means 45 years. You can directly go for that. Now the second one, you have a train of length L going with a constant speed Vt. A person at the back of the train fires a bullet at t equal to 0 towards a target which is at a distance of d from the front of the train, okay, on the same direction of motion. Another person at the front of the train fires another bullet at time t equal to capital T towards the same target. Both bullets reach the target at the same time. Assuming the speed of the bullets Vb are the same, the length of the train is going to be. Now what will be? So let's see what we have. This is the train. This is the train that we are talking about, and let's say this is some target T here. So this is the target. I can write this distance from the front is given as d and this is length L. So at t equal to 0, this is the position of the back end. It fires the bullet and it reaches at some time, such as whatever be the time, let me call it as L plus D, and because the bullet is fired with a speed of, what is the bullet speed? The bullet speed is Vb. The bullet speed you are given as Vb, and because Vb I'll take at the muzzle speed, the actual velocity of the bullet with respect to the ground would be Vb plus V of t, because in frame of t train it was Vb, train velocity will be added to it. Now this reaches at the same time, that means this time is equal to t plus the time the front end takes to the bullet fired from the front to reach there. So for the bullet fired from front to reach there, how much time will it need? It will need the time at t equal to t. So at t equal to t, we will know this end has also moved forward, this will have moved forward by Vt into t. So the distance remaining would be d minus Vt into t divided by, now the speed you know is equal to Vb plus Vt, that is equal to Vb plus Vt, you can write. So this is the equation that we will be getting from here. So what we have to find? We have to find the speed of the bullets. We have to find the speed of the bullets, and there is no d here. So we have to eliminate d and find this. Let me check if we can do this. We have to find, okay, we have to find the length of the train, sorry. So length of the train, how we will find? First of all, L plus D upon Vb plus Vt, take it. It would be T times Vb plus Vt times T plus D minus Vt times T upon Vb plus Vt. So this Vb plus Vt thing is gone. So L plus D is equal to what we have now. We can write it as this goes, this goes. This is Vbt plus D. So D and D goes. So length is equal to Vb into T. That is what we are getting here. So as per me, none of the option is matching. I can't make it out. The solution they have given, that I can't agree to, because that is impossible type of thing. They have assumed the train to be let's say at rest. They have ignored that in time t the train would have moved some distance. So I'm not doing anything. I think this is not a right question to be answered, or the options are not correct. Next, the effect of the interference fringes of the light. Monochromatic source is replaced by a source of light. Now you will have many wavelengths, and in this case you will have when you use the white light, you have a central bright fringe and few colored fringes, and then everything disappears. And what we have, the fringe closest to the central fringe, will be the one whose we can say the first, after central maxima, the first thing comes is minima, and the minima distance is lambda d by 2d, so whose lambda is least will disappear. So first disappearing would be the blue part. Generally we say the light has blue and red as the major components, so the blue part will first form a minima, and hence the appearance of the fringe closest to the central fringe would be red. It is not red because red is at the maxima, it is because blue is at minima. That's a concept you should have been studied, and it is also given in your NCERT. Next, you have an EMF E having internal resistance R connected to external load. Potential difference across the resistor R varies with capital R as shown by the curve. So you directly know current in the circuit is E upon R plus R. So V across R is E R upon R plus R, and you simply write it as E 1 plus R by R. So from here you can make it out, it won't be linear. And just check, if R becomes 0, if this R becomes 0, VR becomes 0. And if R tends to infinity, this VR tends to E. So it would be like the option B you can directly go for. You must have studied that also, that is B. Next one. In amplitude modulation, the amplitude remains constant but the frequency change. No, amplitude changes. So amplitude of the carrier wave changes according to the information signal. So it's a very basic question regarding the amplitude modulation. Next. Work done by an external agent to move slowly a charge Q from rim of a uniformly charged horizontal disk of radius A and charge per unit area R to the center of the disk is going to be. Now here I can directly say work required would be Q delta V, that is V at center minus V at rim. And Q at center, I know directly, I have that formula of the disk, if I remember, that was sigma by 2 epsilon naught root R square plus Z square minus Z. So if I do that formula, it would be sigma is here R into a radius which is A, that is equal to RA, you can write upon 2 epsilon naught. That is the potential formula that you will use in this particular case. So here they have jumbled the variables, they are not using the same, but I can do this, or I can come with the regular one which they have used. They have given something else as an option. So going it as sigma and radius as R, it would be sigma R by 2 epsilon naught. Now the question is, what is the potential at rim? Generally we didn't do this thing, we don't find this potential at the rim, but since they have asked, we cannot escape this thing. Now how can I find out? So for finding out this potential at rim, just imagine any point like this. Let this point be A. So the main thing is you have to find something which would be at same distance. So let's say go at any distance, let's say like this R, and take an arc like this and like a small thickness like this. Now take this strip, find the charge on this, put the limits on theta, put R in terms of capital R radius, and you do, there will be many steps, and ultimately that what you will get, V at rim would be sigma R upon pi epsilon naught. You can do that if you wish, otherwise you can leave also. So now what we can do, just put the formula, work done would be Q, what we will have, sigma R upon 2 epsilon naught minus sigma R upon pi epsilon naught. So what we will be left with, comparing with it, it will be option B that you will be getting. So I'll advise most of you can leave because it would be time taking, and if you have time you can do it, it's not that tough. If you are practiced with taking elements, you can do this, otherwise you can leave that. Next. Ray of light in a medium A incident on a plane interface of two media A and B gets refracted into B. Incidence angle, refraction angle is shown, the graph of sin R and sin R is shown, the correct statement is. So the correct statement, I can directly make it out. I can write Snell's law, Na upon sin I equal to Nb upon sin R. So sin of R is Na upon Nb times sin of I. So comparing it as y equal to mx, slope will be Na upon Nb, and that you can write as 1037, you know, is 3 by 4. That means Nb is 4 by 3 of Na, or if we do the velocity, it would be reverse. So velocity on B is 3 by 4 the velocity of light in A. So speed of light in medium B is 3/4 of that of medium A. That is the first option you are getting. That is the answer. Next one. The difference between kinetic energy of photoelectron emitted from a surface by light of wavelength 2500 and 5000 angstrom will be. So what we can say in the first case, K1 would be hc upon lambda 1 minus phi, in second it is hc by lambda 2 minus phi. So the difference of the energy k1 minus k2 is hc by lambda 1 minus hc by lambda 2, and what we can make it out, hc by lambda 1, that would be 1240 upon 250 minus 1240 upon 500. So you can directly make it out, it would be 1240 upon 500. So it would be approximately 2.5 or 2.47 eV. I can go for option B, not that tough. Next one. Black body has this mass, this area, initial temperature. It is allowed to cool inside an evacuated enclosure at 300 Kelvin. The rate of cooling is this, the specific heat is. So you have to apply that Stephen's law. What we will say, the rate of cooling or the total heat loss minus ms dt by dt you will write is equal to sigma EA T to the power 4 minus Ts to the power 4. So this is a black body, so E would be 1. You have to find S would be sigma A m dt by dt magnitude, I can say, because that would be negative. T to the power 4, 400 to the power 4 minus 300 to the power 4. Put the values. Sigma you take as 5.67 into 10 to the power, what we take, 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8. Area you have 19.2 into 10 raised to power minus 4. M is 34.38 into 10 to the power minus 3. dt by dt is 4 into 10 to the power minus 2. I can take this 10 to the power 8. 4 to the power 4 is 256 minus 81. So this is all what we get. So if we do this whole complete calculations, this 8 and 8 goes, this 4 and 3 to 5, that is 10 will be above. 5.67 into 19.2 into 256 minus 81, 6 and 5, 1, 25, 18, 17, 175 upon 34.38 into 4, that is what you are getting. So it would be roughly 175. It is 1380 something, so I will go for the closest one, 1400 joule per kg per Kelvin. That is what we will get here. Go for option C again, a calculative one. Next one, the energy of electron in nth orbit is this. Energy required to excite it from the first to the third orbit, that would be equal to E3 minus E1. That is, I can write, if I complete it, I take that negative sign inside, it would be 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 3 square. So 13.6 into that you get as 8 by 9. So that would be what you have. You actually directly remember that the third orbit has an energy of what we get 1.5. So 13.6 minus 1.5, it would be 12.1 eV approximately. So that is 12.1 eV. Not go for B, go for C. Be careful. Next, pressure, velocity and time are taken as fundamental physical quantity, the dimensional formula of forces. So what we can do, force is equal to mLT minus 2, and the pressure is equal to mL minus 1 T minus 2, velocity is LT minus 1, and time is time. So to get T to the power minus 2, what we can do, this V and T should be of the same power, so that the T to the powers cancel up. This is one of the possible way. So they cancel up, and we have pressure as one power. And what we have, mass. So if V and T cancel up, there is no mass, P should be power 1. And to get this L, this is L to the power minus 1. So what we need this L to the power plus 1, so we need 2. So I think PV square T square satisfies all the criteria I've done by observation method. You can do by the standard method also that you employ, but that might take time. Here I can do it by observation also. Solid sphere of radius r made of a bulk modulus K surrounded by a liquid in a cylindrical container. Massless piston of area A floats on the surface of the liquid. When mass m is placed on the piston to compress the liquid, the fractional change in the radius of the sphere will be. So what would be, because of the additional mass, the pressure change, the additional pressure you can write would be mg by A. And we know bulk modulus is given, bulk modulus basically what it gives you minus V delta P by delta V, that you write. So the fractional change in the volume, I can make it out. Fractional change in volume, the reduction I can make out would be equal to delta P by B, that is mg upon AB. B here it is written as K, so I can write it as K also. So that is the fractional change in volume. Now the fractional change in volume V, because it's proportional to R cube, delta V by V is 3 times delta R by R. So fractional change in radius would be 1/3 of that. So I can directly go for 1 by 3. Where it is option B. So not that tough. You can make it out. An inductor of inductance 400 millihenry, resistors 2 and 2, connected to battery EMF. The internal resistance is negligible. Switch is closed at t equal to 0. The potential drop across L is a function of time. So this R1 is a showpiece, you need to remember only this. So I can directly say the current here, because initially inductor won't allow any current, so it would be I naught 1 minus e to the power minus tr by L. That is what you typically write. At t equal to 0 it is 0, and t equal to infinity it would be I naught, and I naught in this particular branch I am writing this I. In this particular branch I naught is e by R2. So this is what we get. So this is the current. Now so what would be the EMF across L? EMF across L would be E minus I into R2. So E minus I into R2, if I do that, would be E 1 minus e to the power minus tr by L. So it is e to the power minus tr by L. That is what we have got. And what is E? E is 12, and this is R is also R2. Just write it. So minus tr2 is what? 2. L is 400. Milli means 10 to the power 3000. So that is minus 5t. So 12 e to the power minus 5t. Go for option A. You can do this. Next, your massless platform is kept on a light elastic spring. Okay. When 0.1 kg is dropped on the pen from a height of 0.24 meter, the particle sticks to the pen. The spring is compressed by 0.01 meter. But what height should the particle be dropped to cause a compression of 0.04 meters? So what we can do in the first case, when it is dropped by a height of 0.24, loss in potential energy in the moment when it is maximum compressed, let's say xm. Here kinetic energy will be 0, originally kinetic energy will be 0. So loss in potential energy is mgh plus y, that is gain in spring energy half k y square you can write, or x max square, y max square, whatever you can write, let it be y max. So what we have now, in the first case when a particle of 0.1 kg, where you have that, or you can directly say h plus y max upon h plus y max, you have like this. Now in both the cases, in the first it was 0.01, next you want 0.04. So I can apply for the two cases, mg is same, so h plus y1 upon h plus y2 would be equal to y1 square by y2 square, and here it would be h1, here it would be h2. So what we will have, 0.24 plus 0.01 is equal to h2 plus 0.04 upon, this would be 1 by 4 square, I can directly do, that is 1 by 16. So this is 0.25, and this would be h2 plus 0.04. So 16 into 0.25, 16 into 1 by 4, 4 is equal to h2 plus 0.04. So h2 comes out as 3.96. You can directly go for it. Go for option C. Not that tough if you do systematically. You have three identical bar magnets of magnetic moment M are arranged in the form of an equilateral triangle such that at two vertices like poles are in contact. The resultant magnetic moment is. So you have three magnets arranged like this. So it would be south and north, and at two vertices like poles are in contact. That means this would be north and this would be south, and at two vertices, I cannot have at two vertices now. This would be south. So again, let's say this would be south and this would be north. So at two there are same poles. So this is M, this is M, and this is M. No, not this is M, sorry. This third one is like this. So if I add them, first of all, adding these two from the triangle law, you can say that would come out like this. So resultant is going to be 2m directly. You can go, the resultant of these two will be along third one, so it would be 2m directly. You can go. Next one. You have a wire of length 100 meter tightly wounded on a hollow tube of radius 5 mm, length 1 meter, current of 1 ampere is flowing. The magnetic field and strength inside the tube. So it basically becomes a solenoid. So B would be equal to mu naught Ni. So mu naught is mu naught, which is 4 pi into 10 raised to the power minus 7 n. Number of turns per unit length. Now since length is 1 meter, I can directly say n. One turn will take 2 pi r. 2 pi r, that is 2 pi into 5 mm. And so number of turns into that would be equal to, that you can directly say would be equal to, length is 100 meter, sorry. So total length of the wire, which is 100 meter. So n comes out as from here 100 upon 2 pi into 5 into 10 raised to the power minus 3, and current is 1 ampere. So this 2 pi goes, this becomes 2. So what we are left with, this is 10 to the power minus 3, 10 to the power 2, 5, 10 to the power minus 2 I have upon 2 by 5. Okay, this is what we have got. So I can write 10 to the power minus 3 upon 20 by 5. So it comes out as 4 millitesla. I can go for option B here. Next one. Thin uniform rod pivoted at rotating in the horizontal plane with a constant speed omega. T equal to 0, small insect starts from home, moves with constant speed v with respect to the rod towards the other end. It reaches the end of the rod at t equal to t and stops. The angular system of the speed of the system is remaining constant. The magnitude of torque about O as a function of the time is best represented by which plot? So it's clear, when it stops, angular momentum becomes constant, so torque will become 0 finally. So it will become 0 finally, so we are left with two options, B and D. Now out of B and D, how to check the variation of the torque? So I can say, consider it at any moment it is at a distance x here, and let's say it is going with velocity v in frame of this. So it is going with velocity v in this particular frame. What we can make it out? So first of all, the moment of inertia I can write at this moment is the rod is ml square by 3, that will remain a constant, and this particle would be mx square, that is I, and this x, because it is moving with constant speed, I can write it as ml square by 3 plus mx square can be written as v into t square. This is I. So L you write as I omega, so dl by dt, because omega is constant, I can write it as omega into di by dt. This term is constant, so di by dt would be 2m vt, 2m v square t, you can write it as 2m v square t. That means it is going to be proportional to t, and that is equal to torque. So it would be option B. The torque will vary linearly, and after that it will become 0. Next one, sound wave 600 Hz falls normally on a reflecting wall. Shortest distance from the wall at which all particles will have a maximum amplitude of vibration will be. A question asked for the particles having an amplitude, so we have to treat it as a displacement wave, and because it is reflected from a reflecting wall, I can take that reflecting wall that to be a fixed point, that is a node, and the maximum amplitude NT node would be at a distance lambda by 4 in the wave. You can make it out directly in this particular case, that because that would be a standing wave formation that we can say. So what is this lambda? Lambda you can write as V by F. So V is 300, F is 600, so lambda is 1 by 2, so lambda by 4 is 1 by 8. Go for option C in this case. If it is asked for pressure amplitude would be maximum just at the wall. Next, two wires of diameter 1 by 4 centimeter, one made of steel, other of brass, are loaded as shown. The unloaded length of the wires are 1.5 and 1. Young's model of steel and brass is given. The elongation of steel and brass will be. So first of all, what would be the tension in this brass? The tension in this brass, let's say T brass is equal to 60 newtons. So because it is 60 Newton, what we can say, delta L is equal to FL upon AY. So TB into LB upon AB into YB. So what we have? Tension is 60, length is 1, area what we have, pi into 1 by 4, or you can say 1 by 8 of that, 1 by 8 into 10 raised to power minus 2 whole square, and Young's modulus is 9.1 into 10 to the power 10 you can write. So it would be 60 into 8 square, that is 64. 9.1 pi 10 to the power 10, 10 to the power minus 4, 10 to the power 6. So what we have, we could take it up. It becomes 10 to the power minus 4, 64 into 6 upon 9.1 pi. So what we are left with, it would be, if I do this 64 into 6, that would be 320, 384. So 384 upon 9.1 pi. So 10 to the power minus 5, I can take it as it would be 10 to the power minus 4 if I write 38.4 upon 9.1 into 22 by 7. So yes, it would be in table of 7, I can make it out. 91 is 13, so it would be 1.3. So 38.4 upon 22 into 1.3, 13 2s are 26, 13 2s are 26, 28.6 into 10 to the power minus 4. So it would be roughly 1 point something into 10 to the power minus 4 for the brass, and if steel and brass are given, so for the brass it would be roughly 1 point, I can make it out, it would be not 1.4 even, it would be 1.3, that would be the closest, 3 and 4. So will be 1.3 is only in this option for the brass, so go for this. You can check for steel also. I have gone only for the brass one because I can make it out that the calculation are not that bad, so it's simply we have done it. So 1.3 into 10 raised to power minus 4, I can make it out. We are getting slightly greater than 1.3, but it is much lesser than 1.5. I think G taking 9.8 might have worked. Okay, next one. Your bullet of mass m striking an obstruction and deviates off at 60 degree to this original direction. Okay, speed change from u to v. Find the magnitude of the impulse. Impulse you write it as delta p m vector v minus vector u. So angle between them is 60 degrees. So magnitude of impulse would be v square plus u square minus 2 uv cos 60. You can make it out. So what we have, v square plus 2u square minus, what we can make it out, It also changed from 60 degree to the original direction, and it is 2 uv cos 60 is 1, so v square plus 2u square minus uv, that is what we are getting here. So what are the options? Okay, the first one is there. Okay, I was searching where this option is. Okay, next one. Now the subjective ones. The equation of motion of a projectile is given. What is the range of? Now for range, you know y will become 0, so simply putting y0 12x minus 3 by 4x square, one would be x equal to 0 starting point. So second one we can directly take out the x. 12 is equal to 3 by 4 of this r, so r comes out as 48 by 3, that is 16 meters. You can go by this. Otherwise you can do comparison also, but this is a better method I feel. 2 kg stone tied at the end of a string 1 meter long is whirled along a vertical circle with a speed of 4. What would be the tension in the string at the bottommost point? You can directly say at bottommost point, you all remember T minus mg is equal to mv square by r. So it's an easy one. mg would be 20 plus 2 into v square, 16 by 1, 32 plus 20, that comes out as 52 Newton. Again, this is a very easy one. Next. What would be the ratio of acceleration due to gravity on the surface to the acceleration at a height 3r? So at a height 3r, g would be gm upon r plus 3r whole square, that is gm upon 16r square, that you can directly write as gs by 16. So surface to that ratio, if reverse you will take, that would be equal to 16 in this case. Again, this is also an easy one. Next one. Two identical systems with heat capacity at a constant volume varying with temperature. Thermally isolated. Initially one system at a temperature 100 and another at 200. Systems are then brought to thermal contact and the combined system is allowed to reach thermal equilibrium. If this T naught is what is T naught, then what would be the value of N, where N is the final temperature. Okay, so the heat capacity is given. Thermally isolated, one system at temperature 100, other at 200. The systems are then brought to thermal contact. So what I can make it out, the heat lost by 1, Q lost by this 201 would be equal to Q gained by this 101. So that is what we can make it out. So what is the lost? It loss would be what we can say NCV delta T. What we can write it as NCV delta T identical. So we can take that N to be same. So NCV, CV is B by T cube dt. I do this integration. It is losing, therefore I will write it as a negative sign, and it would be from 200 to T. Or loss, if you can reverse that, that's one same thing. And here n into bt cube dt from 100 to T. So what we have, n and b will go out. T cube I can write as t to the power 4 by 4 minus it will become plus 200 to the power 4 by 4. Here it will become t to the power 4 by 4 plus 100 to the power 4 by 4, negative sign, sorry. So what we have now, we have t to the power 4 by 2 is equal to 200 to the power 4 minus 100 to the power 4 by 4 plus, sorry, so what it would be 2, so 2 to the power 4. Okay, what it is now, this is a very interesting that we are getting. So 2t4 I can write 200 to the power 4, let's say 10 to the power 4 8, I can take it out common, 10 to the power 8 is common, 2 to the power 4 is 16 plus 1. So T to the power 4 final temperature is 10 to the power 8 into 17 by 2 I am getting, that is 8.5 I am getting. So again it's not that tough, so slightly appearing as complicated. Next, SHM amplitude 8 unit travels along positive x-axis. Given instant particle at 10 centimeter displacement is 6 and at 25 the origin displacement is 4. What is the wavelength of the unit of the wave? So amplitude 8 is still dubious to me, I can't make it out, but what I can do, what I understand is, I can say at this 10 centimeter distance, this is 6 units and at 25 it is 4 units. So it is 3a by 4, I can make it out, and this is equal to what I can make it out is a by 2, that is what we can say. So 3a by 4 and a by 2, so what I can make it out is, so the gap between these 2 points having the displacements a by 2 and 3a by 4. Now this will depend on many factors. The one factor would be like, let's say the photo might be like this, there will be some maxima in between, or it may be like it was decreasing. So I cannot exactly predict out what would be the exact value in this particular case. It's too tough for me to make it out this. So what we can do, we can just take a guess and nothing else. So what we will say, this let's say in general case what we say this, if it is moving like sine omega t, so for sine theta to change from 3 by 4 to 1 by 2, that is what we can make it out. So changing from 3 by 4 to 1 by 2, how much distance will it take? So I have used a calculator to find out. This occurs at 0.85 radians, and this you know it occurs at pi by 6 radian. You know pi by 6 means it would be slightly lesser than this, slightly, okay, or it would be more lesser than that. And we simply say that this phase difference coming is because of this delta x. So k delta x would be equal to this 0.85 minus pi by 6. So this delta x is given as how much it is, 15 centimeters, and k you know is equal to 2 pi by lambda, that is 0.85 minus pi. Now solving this, the value of lambda comes out as 2 into 3.14 into 0.15 upon 0.85 minus pi by 6, and if I have solved it, it comes out as 2.82 meters. I don't know how to write this because this is not a good question to be given without doing anything. We can solve it, but again I am not sure this is the only possible answer. I have just tried it, but whatever be it, you have to do. Okay, so thanks for watching.